Yes, people, welcome back to Many Good Vibes. We're back again with a Good Vibes podcast. It's been a hot minute. Big up to everyone inside. We got our captain, man like KJ. We got Indiana, man like Dominant United, saw some ringers, and the history teacher himself, PhD, man like Norden. Man, then what are you saying? What are you telling me, man? How you doing?
Man, all good, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man.
All
good to
man.
be back, man. Good to be back.
I know it's been a minute still, man. I want to say slacking. I guess the word is slacking. I've been slacking quite a bit still, but work comes first, unfortunately. But we're here and we're doing it, man. But yeah, man, big up to RB, big up. But let's get straight into it. I don't want to waste no time. Yesterday, Manchester United won, West Ham 0, after 120 minutes of brilliant football. Brilliant football. Dominic, we did a match reaction on Aaron's channel not long ago. So I'll open it up to the rest of you, man. What's your thoughts on that game yesterday? Because for me, yeah, boy, we were doing a watch along, yeah, and we were talking about everything but football. Everything but Manchester United, everything but that game. Until McTominay scored in extra time. But now, what was your thoughts on the game, man?
Oh man. It was boring, man. It was boring. That's all I can really say. It was boring. We really got to see some of the players what they're about. I love Pastor Frederick, but when he's been asked to be the sole creator in that double pivot, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. His job is to just break up, give it off to someone better. That's all he's good at. And maybe in a transition and in a counter attack, he might pull off a brilliant pass every now and then, but most of the time, that's not the guy. He can't shoot. He can't shoot, man.
Oh, I beg him not to shoot, KJ, man. You know I do.
Did anyone catch that volley that he tried?
It's terrible, man.
It's so bad.
He needs
I
a
live in
fine.
Kent.
Every time he tries to shoot, Ollie needs to fine him. Just stop him from doing it.
It's very mad, fam. It's one of those games where it's just like, boy, like these man them love denying young players game time, fam. Like every time we have a young, exciting player on the bench, we know what Ollie's like anyway. He will only come on with 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go if we're 2-0 up. That's the only when they'll come on. So I'm like, all right, cool. Man, then please do your job so we can see Diallo, fam. What do they go and do? Make it difficult for everyone. And then this kid didn't get any game time, man. It's like these boys, man. Like I know it's rotation. I know there's different players playing and they're getting used to each other and stuff. But it's just like you guys are professional footballers, boys. You know what I'm saying? Like you train with each other week in, week out. Surely you can do a little link up 1-2 here to score against West Ham. We weren't really trying to do anything. But yeah, man, it's peak and I think Ollie he missed a trick by not playing Diallo. Just give him some time, give him something, give him little. So let him just it's not like West Ham were battering us and we needed stability in the midfield or we needed some defensive cover. We needed something different in attack, and he could have given us that. But overall, we're through to the next round, and that's what I can say. You know what I mean? That's all there is to say.
Yeah, you know what? I follow on everything you said, bro. Everything you said, but it's quite strange when you're begging for Matic and Fred to create something. You know what I mean? Pogba being out of the team, that does a massive thing. And you look at the attributes of Fred in a game where it is quite hectic. It is the teams that are attacking us. He comes into his zone. He comes into that tenacity comes out. That ball winning skills comes out. But in a game where you've got 9 people in the box, especially that first half, West Ham tactics. That's why, to me, if any time was a proof of the pudding, that why David Moyes was the biggest fraud becoming a Man United manager. If that was the biggest, it's like what happened. You know, it's also, people look at it and go, you know what happened in that decade? You know what historians will years to come, 40 years from now, go, what happened in that decade? Well, David Moyes won the lottery and became Man United and his tactics in that first half showed. That blatantly showed when he got 9 men behind the ball. And I think even if we had Bruno, if we had Pogba, it would have been difficult to create. But saying that in the second half, they changed it up a bit. Obviously, He's got ballers like Lanzini and, you know what I mean? The other
Benrahma.
they got
Benrahma, yeah.
Yeah, but
Bowen.
like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you've got these ballers. It's a cup game. Man United, listen, so this is David Moyes thinking. Man United have just had 3-3 in a game. When we get attacked, we get found out because our defense ain't all that. And that partnership, Maguire, Lindelof, is not all that. So that showed. So then why do you go in and come on, literally, not part of the bus, but bring the Titanic with you? It wasn't a bus. It was the Titanic, bro. It was the Titanic. And he bought the ice caps as well and just parked it. So it would have been really difficult with any top players to
against that, yeah.
break that down. But this is where I agree with you, brother, because I think someone like unknown kid, right, because he's unknown, someone like Ahmed, who's unknown,
100%.
just give him a chance on that because West Ham are not set up to play him. And when you got players like him who can eliminate, when you've got 2 backs of 4 plus 1 parked inside the area, you need guys who can take on players in a close space and who are nifty and sharp and can get, and you know what I mean, can get in on a 1-2. And I mean, to me, the biggest thing was the use of Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek's never been a number 10 in terms of the conventional number 10s.
Yeah.
He's never been. The idea that we stick him in Bruno's position and go on, Donny, create. That to me was it's like crimes against football, bro. And that's a crime.
He was lost.
Yeah,
He
he
lost.
was
Lost.
lost. Because that's not the type of player he is. If you want Donny van der Beek to play, you need ball-playing other 2 midfielders to play with him. Where it's one-touch football, 1-touch, 2-touch.
One matter.
Jordan, right? You know the problem with that as well is that I think personally, Ollie knew that Van der Beek wouldn't be able to step up in this game, but he had to just tick the box, right? And he knew that he wouldn't play well because he's not playing him in the right position with the right players. It's all wrong, man. It's all Van der Beek. When I saw it was over, right, it was when he tried to do a long ball over the top, right? And Van der Beek don't do long balls. That's not him. No. He's come from an Ajax team who play collectively, Ron. Collectively. They like to pass, move. When they're in training, they got the ball. When they grow up, when they Google Gaga, they come out the womb, they got a football. They got a football with them. Do you know what I'm saying? They're playing all the single time. Yeah. But when you come over here and you're playing a Man United system where there's no fluidity, there's no understanding, there's no muscle memory and football memory, you put Van der Beek in the middle of the pitch with people he just doesn't know, that doesn't play the same football, the same style as him. There's no 1-2s, there's no give and goes. This is not what we brought Van der Beek on for. And this is the situation we're going to keep seeing that Van der Beek's not. What happened to Angel Gomez? Baller, right? You know that he was a baller when he was coming through, and all our players were playing rubbish. Didn't get a chance. Amad Diallo should have come on for at least a bit of the game, a little bit of the game, move it out, an unknown entity, a different enigma. You could just do something different, but we're playing the same football over and over again. Long term, it's not going to work, brother. It's not going to work, man.
But you know with that Diallo thing?
Oh. Yo, the good vibe.
I wanted to say it. I just feel like, Sky always do this to me, but every time it's Sky. Every time I go live on my channel, they want to mess me up.
Don't talk to me about them.
Oh my days! But let me get this one in quickly, yeah. With Diallo, yeah, I would have loved to see him if we had gone there like 60 minutes and we were like 2-3-0 up. With the way that we were playing, yeah, that would be again in the under 23s, and he's doing his thing. I think he would have suffocated a lot if we had brought him into that game, especially with the way West Ham was set up and the way we were playing. Man, I don't think that was the game for him.
No, you say that, but also it's like
big up Aaron, man.
Yeah, man like Aaron, man like, come on. You say that, Manny, but he needs that experience anyway. We can't just always bring him on when everything's going smooth. There's always loads of space. Look, we need him in games where, okay, let's test you a bit. We're gonna need you when there's 2 banks of 4. We're gonna need you when there's not these little small right backs and left backs.
I hear you, KJ.
But he's big men. Like he's gonna have to do it at some point anyway. So I thought, just give him a little point, just a little taste of it.
I get that. But what if you throw a young player into the Premier League in a tight game and then you lose the game, or he makes a mistake and you lose the game? Like, that's a lot of pressure. So I see why I wasn't brought on, but I agree with you. I agree with you about something different. I get that, and I understand your argument. And I think if we were 2-0 up, I'd be like, yeah, bring him on straight away. We got to see him play. But when it's a tight game, man, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
The fact that it was a FA Cup game is the reason why I'm saying it. If it was Prem, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand if it was Prem, but because it's FA Cup, you can do something different to try and get the win. Premier League is a bit different in terms of, okay, you got to plan out your next few games. Is the battle? Is the league one last one here? Is the top 4 last one in here in this one game? Not necessarily because you got like how many games next, but in the FA Cup, in a knockout competition, there's times where you just need to take the risk and need to try something different. But at the end of the day, we got the W.
I was talking about his personal confidence, not the confidence of the team. Like, I don't think it would make a difference whether it's FA Cup or Premier League. And if you come into a game as a young kid and into a new side, and if you're the guy who makes that mistake, whether it's like not tracking back, experience, whatever it may be, and you lose a game, it's not going to matter whether it's a Charity Shield or Premier League or Champions League final. It's not going to make a difference.
True, but when is it okay to make that mistake then? Because then what you're saying is that pressure's always there, and we should always be.
I'm saying it's different when it's bedded in. It's very different. Like, so if we're 2-0 up in the game, I'd love to see him come on, get him some minutes, get him confidence, get him bedded into the side. And if that had happened already, then yesterday I would have been saying, yeah, he needs to come on now because he's already played with the team.
But what about if he came on and he did the bits? That's what I'm saying.
No, I get that.
Look at like, we have to protect, man, because that's sometimes is sink and swim. You have to sink and swim. When you get on that pitch, you're playing for Man United. This is your level. Amad Diallo to me seems like a kid who's pure confidence, and I don't think if he made a mistake or whatever, that's football, man. So the idea that kid makes one mistake and then he's done for the rest of his days, that to me, the fans who are gonna say that just shows their footballing knowledge. It shows their the football culture and the way they educate you. It's like you makes one mistake and then you blame him. No, you don't.
No, it's not about blaming him. It's about his personal confidence.
They have to be able to make mistakes. You have to be able to make mistakes. But to me, when I look at that game and I look at how tactics, I knew it. All of the big teams West Ham play, they do that tactics. David Moyes comes out. The true David Moyes comes out where he sits back. To me, when you got 5 substitutions, you start Diallo yesterday, right? On the right-hand side, you give him a chance. If he's not going too well, you take him off. And then you bring on Greenwood or you bring on somebody else. But give him the chance to begin with. Even because before you were saying, KG was saying, maybe if we need to be tested. You need to be tested when everybody's sitting back. Because you are a special talent. And let's see if you're special talent and the fact that they don't know your game, they don't know which way you go, they don't know about those things, right? Let's see if you can surprise and shock them. And the biggest thing is that he's got 5 substitutions in the FA Cup. You can take him off. He's made them.
That's different, though. That's different. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can start him. Starting him's different to bringing him on as a sub when you haven't scored a goal. I think that's a very different thing.
I think it's different.
But Indiana, here's the thing, though. We scored a goal in the first half of extra time. We had due to the rules, you can have an extra sub in extra time. We could have brought him on for 15 minutes, bro.
Like, but we know our manager won't do that.
See him. This is different.
Yeah, we're desperate. That's what it is. I think we're desperate to a degree to see him, and also like even if we were brought him in, with the way we're playing, like that goal, I'm happy we won in it at the end of the day, but like that goal came out of nowhere. To be fair,
that's
like them man could have. If Harry Maguire messed up that pass with Dean Henderson or whatever, that's another goal there, and they could probably go on to win the game. Because if we went to penalties, I wasn't confident. We were lucky. To be fair, it was a good goal by Scott McTominay, not taking nothing away from it. But we were lucky, especially with the way the game was going. But I want to get Aaron's thoughts on it. Would you have liked to see Diallo start in that game or come on at some point, even with the way the game was going?
I would have liked to see him come on, to be honest, because I feel like starting Greenwood was the right thing to do because he's been having a few good games lately. So I feel like starting Greenwood was the right thing. So yeah, I would have liked to see him get some minutes, man. Like KJ said, I even forgot that we always get an extra sub when you get to extra time. I completely forgot about that. So that could have been an option. Just to kind of see how he fits in, how he does against, I'm not going to say, because he's played men's football, but not enough in Italy. So I would have liked to see how he does against like men in the Premier League. So, in FA Cup. But it would have been interesting to see him. A few minutes here and there. And at the end of the day, we paid 40 million for him, so he has to play at some point.
Fair enough.
Right, so 18 with Adam.
How do we like get into a situation, right, where how have all the biggest players been unearthed? Rashford got a chance because we had no strikers. He played in the biggest situations. All the Phil Foden, right? He's played in big games. Look at him now. He's starting. You have to put these players in positions to thrive or die. Like if you start a new job, right? We've all got jobs here, right? You've got a new position. You don't know if you're going to be amazing, but you know you smashed it at your other job. You go in there and get given the chance. You don't get, you make cup of teas. No, I'm going to go and go to this business meeting.
It's like, is this a film lot? This ain't no film lot, bro. This is the theatre, bro.
You go in that thing, you put your best tie on, right? You put some flicking Paco Rabanne on, and you walk in there and say, I got this. Amad Diallo oozes mentality. He oozes mentality. The way he plays, the way he's silky. We saw what we did in under 23. The guy had confidence.
It's too easy.
In that clip, right? Do you remember seeing that clip with Hannibal and Diallo, right? There's a right back who sat there just watching them, oozing sauce. They were like, these guys. He could have easily passed back to that right back just to easily play it. He kept move, pass. Amad Diallo had a great chance to come in, do a little cameo and say, yes, I've got my taste for football. We're never going to see the brother. We're not going to see him. We're not going to see him until a few games because
unless we get Bournemouth in the next round,
that's a shout.
They may start Europa League. Real Sociedad. Let's be serious. They're a good footballing team. They're a good team.
Man. He won't do it.
Yeah, but he ain't that guy.
But Dominic, you say something there, yeah? Like he was passing and moving, yeah? How many times, do we see our team pass and really move like that?
This is what I'm saying.
We have no one, we have players that can do it. Obviously, the Donny van der Beek, the Matters, Bruno to an extent.
Martial.
You know what I mean? Martial.
Yeah.
But
If you come off the bench for Greenwood, yeah, who's gonna do the pass and move with him? Because as much as we like Donny van der Beek and we know his quality, he wasn't really into that game until probably about 10 minutes before he came off, because obviously his confidence has been hit. So if we had brought him on, he probably would have just stunk like everyone else. I
don't know, bro. Because if you play players, they can't change how they play. That's why Donny van der Beek's not playing very well, because he plays how he plays, but he plays for the collective. He's an enabler. All the other teams aren't playing the same wavelength, so it makes him look rubbish at what he does. He's not a number 10. He's not a Bruno. He's not
what I would say though on Donny van der Beek, I actually love him. He's an excellent,
he's a baller.
One of the best ballers we've got. But I do still feel like because you've got a high IQ like that, I still can think, all right, these man them ain't doing it the way it should be done. Let me do so a little bit different to help them out, help them understand. You know what I mean? So there's times where him and Martial were both in line with the back four of West Ham. Yo, Donny, you know about spaces. There's a space in between the midfield and the defense.
Martial's not that player either, KJ. That's a part of the problem. I think it's different if you had a Cavani up there. Cavani's thing is movement. You got a Cavani in front of him, right, and you've got a Pogba
Mata on the right.
him, a Mata on the right.
Yeah,
these
different game.
Intelligent, high IQ footballers.
That's
very different to when you've got runners or like the Freds, the Martials,
the
Rashfords. Is a very different thing. So Donny, football's about balance, right? It's about balance.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the right balance of players around you. I don't think it suited Donny at all yesterday.
Yeah.
No. But then you talk about. Go on, Andy.
The reason why it didn't suit him because the best ballers are not playing. So Bruno can play with that one touch. Luke Shaw on that left-hand side offers that ball into the channel. That ball Pellet was doing in the first half. If you looked at the game yesterday, from the beginning to the end, especially in that first half and in parts in the second half, the runs into the box where he was doing the best thing about Donny is that in that box he operates more on either on the left or the right. I've watched this kid for Ajax and I see his third one motion is one of the best, where he's the third one. So a ball gets played into somebody up front, and then somebody then runs beyond that to get that ball. Man United don't play like that. We play football that is like literally, it's like you going to the dentist. You know when the dentist is pulling out your tooth? Like literally, it's stagnated football. That's what it is. It's like root canal. Right? So we pass the ball, we wait. It's like, that's when I look at the ball, I think, did these men treat the ball? It's like pulling teeth. Ball needs to move quickly. And me, yesterday, Ollie set him up. Because, Ollie, listen, regardless what Ollie says, what Man United say, they can tell in social media. They can see Man United as a football club make money of the mentions. That's why nobody at Old Trafford will ever come out and say, we're not, this player is using us, that player is using us, because they like the social media hype. Everybody on social media, majority of football United fans, understand. And that fraud, Jenis, yesterday, the things that he was coming out with, it was laughable.
He's all over Van de Beek, wasn't he?
Was the absolute laughable. But everybody knows that Donny van de Beek needs to be in a team where Bruno's in the team, where he's playing with the first team, right? He needs to be in as a number 8, right? Because with that, then you can see his football. Then you can see he's in the same wavelength as everybody else in terms of that two-touch football.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, to me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer set him up. He knew how West Ham were going to play. To me, Donny van de Beek thing yesterday was a setup to say to the fans, shut up, look, he's got the form. That is the worst thing you can do.
Norden.
They know it.
Norden, do you guys see a similarity between Van der Beek and Fred, and not in terms of play style, but the way they were signed? Mourinho wanted Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. The club told him, no, you're getting Fred or nothing. He got Fred, and look how Fred was treated in that first season. You know what I'm saying? 2 years later, Ollie wants Grealish. The club tell him no, it's Van der Beek or nothing. They take him, and now look how Van der Beek's turning out as well.
I don't see a problem with the Van der Beek deal, if I'm honest.
It's not necessarily saying it was an issue, but we need to start looking at, this player's fine. The way these players are coming into our club is the issue. I'm on the resistance thing, innit? We will have resistance on that.
I know
what I'm saying?
You're coming with that still, bro.
So
out on all of that.
we as much as Ollie's making his mistakes, and we need to question him. As much as Van der Beek is he's struggling to find form and things aren't going his way. Why are these things happening all at the same time? Look at the people running the team, fam. They're allowing this to happen. These pagans, fam.
Structure.
I hear you, but
I spoke to Joe Glazer yesterday, and he said he's got a present for KJ, bruv. You know what I'm saying? He said he's got a birthday present for you.
listen, Aaron, listen to me. I've never my birthday. The way I started my birthday early out in the morning sucked ass, dude. I watched that pagan lift the Super Bowl before we got 21. We got 21. They man lift the Super Bowl.
21 actually coming though.
Listen. The way that I looked at that man looks like a plastic doll. The way he was shining.
Do you know what?
Man was shining, blood, glistening with happiness. It made me feel ill. I felt.
You know what? I said it on my channel as well. Yeah. You know whenever they're
gonna get to this question in a minute, by the way.
Why do we never see the Glazers? And then they're like, yeah, when we come to Manchester, we don't like to be seen because we like to keep a low profile, bro. Man was there lifting the team, and I'm just like, what happened to the low profile, bro? Like,
yeah. Oh, man.
But I want to get to this question from Lincoln, innit? Because I really do want to talk about our progression as a football club, and actually not as a football, as a team. Lincoln says the FA Cup game showed that we take 2 or 3 players out of our ex-side from a Premier League game, and our start is lackluster. For example, taking Shaw and Bruno out of the lineup ruined our build-up thoughts. And I'll add to that. You remember the Norwich game last season? I think it was FA Cup as well.
Yeah, FA
and
Cup.
We rotated that squad, and it was like,
it stunk.
It stunk. But like, what's your thoughts on that? Do we just blame the manager, or do we just say we haven't really got the players to rotate?
No, we know, Manny. We know our squad depth. Like once you take out our first 11, the drop off is huge. I've been saying for a long time, our first 11 is not even. It's not even what it should be when you think of Manchester United. I mean, think about the history of Manchester United, and we look at strikers. Our one and only striker is Cavani, in terms of being able to move in the box, the instincts, that type of thing. Like we are miles off where we should be. In terms of players, the drop off of players, I don't think it's dead wood as such. I just think it's going to be a problem bringing them in because we bought players in like Donny van der Beek, and I don't think he's going to play. I really don't see him playing, and I don't know where it changes. but I do think the drop off is massive. It's
Yeah,
huge.
for me, like if you look at this team, like I always talk about it like a treadmill, right? If you got a treadmill going and it's already going, you got to jump on that system and just keep up with it. You got to keep up the pace, right? We don't play as a collective team, so when you take off some of your best players, there's no system for the other people to follow. There's no muscle memory or football system for the people to follow. So once you got Van de Beek come into a system where there isn't really a play or an understanding that everybody gets, everybody's just working for themselves. So you've got Rashford. You know what, right? The first time Rashford runs and just runs into a brick wall, you're like, okay, he's trying, good. The second time, you're like, oh, this guy's not really getting it. Third time, you're like, these runs ain't working. They're not working. You keep doing these runs and you're not retaining the ball. So people follow you. They're running up and down. On the second time, they'll follow you and make a run. The third time, they'll follow you probably. The fourth time, no one's going to come up to the pitch because they know you're going to lose the ball, because that's not how we want to see the game progress. If your players are basically dropping off when you take off your big players, that's a sign to say that you're not playing good collective football, because a drop-off should not be that big. That's why Van de Beek can't play in this system. That's why we're not seeing too much rotation, because we're just relying on individual brilliance. And sometimes, how many open play goals where it's 1-2 triangle overlap are we scoring? We don't do it. We just don't do it. So that's why the drop-off happens. We need to get a coaching system to drill these players and say, once you get to this area, once you get to this invisible orange cone, I want to see an overlap. Once you get to this area, I want 3 people to support him. So if he's surrounded by players, he's got 2 options. You always got to provide 2 options for this player. I don't see it. And this is why the drop-off is huge.
I think it's also drop off in players, though, ability. Like we've already spoke today, we don't want to see Fred shoot.
Oh, no.
How many midfielders at Man City can score goals? They haven't had Aguero all season.
All of them.
And that's what I'm saying.
Gundogan's pulling up numbers this season,
there
bro.
are levels. We are Manchester United. There should be a certain level of player in every position.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm greedy.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I said about Fred that I said it in the other stream that it should be a point where if Fred's on the ball, we should have like a little friendly electric shock when he goes past the halfway line. You know, like just to say don't go past it or don't shoot, just to remind him, because that's not his game. If he's about to shoot, a little electric shock, just a nice little friendly one.
You know the funniest thing? I seen a video, I think it was an interview talking about Fred, and I think it was after the FA Cup game where Bruno scored that free kick, and he's talking about how he trains and practices.
Yeah, I remember this.
And he's like, yo, me and Matt are out there all the time. Tell us, Alex gets involved. And Fred just comes for the laugh.
I remember that.
Yeah. Fred just comes for the laugh.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
If we talk about Fred, yeah, there's one thing. Yeah, okay, listen, this is not his fault. Something that really impedes his game, yeah, and it's getting to a point where it's coming comical. I'm sorry, his height. He's just too short. There's no. Wait.
Yeah,
listen.
That's Messi's problem as well.
No. Listen, you're not letting me finish. Listen, I've seen man time tackles correctly, and just because it's his length of his legs, he doesn't get there. It whiffs. I've seen there was one point in that game where he was in the right position to cut out a cross. He jumped, and the ball just went over his head and to the player. I'm not saying short footballers can't play well. I'm saying that in his position, in his role, it's something that is impeding him, and it's not his fault. You know what I mean? Like against I think it was against Everton. There was a tackle he made in the box. He made the first tackle cool, and then it bobbled, and he tried to do the swipe to clear the ball again.
He completed 0 tackles against Everton.
Because his legs were so short, he just couldn't get there. And it's just like one of those ones. It's like, if you were like 2 inches taller, like.
But then other times his low sense of gravity gets him in there, and that's why. To me, I think I've seen a level of drop. That his levels have dropped at the moment, because I think it's the continuation. One game you're playing, one game you're not.
Yeah.
Fred has been. I remember me and Aaron, we were OT, and we were always saying, you know what, Fred, what is he doing? And we all agreed. This guy needs 8 to 7 games, right, continuously. Fred is the type of guy that he don't need to be rested. He needs 7 or 8 games or 10 games straight. And that's when his form came back. But again, he goes back to the structure. Yesterday, and the drop-off from Matic is on the next level. Absolute. Yesterday, I was thinking, oh my word. I mean, you know me, Aaron knows. What I always say, this man finds the invisible. Matic is the only player in football I've ever watched that finds the invisible corridors right? Tunnels in the football pitch. Because he'll just start running with the ball and he can't move. He moves like a double-decker bus. Like, you know what I mean? He turns like the Titanic. You know what I mean? He's got a quick turner. He's got a one-touch baller. And then you're asking, like Dominic said, right? Like you're asking that guy, those two guys, to play football with Donny. It doesn't make sense. And the other thing about people saying, about McSauce and McTominay. McTominay, when he's more attack-minded and he's got energy to move up the pitch, he's a better footballer. But his awareness, his position in a defensive sense is not.
It's poor.
His absolute passing is horrendous. But in and around, run up and down, and you know what I mean, chase couple of man, he's all right and coming onto the ball because he used to be a striker. If you're a striker in the youth team, I expect you to have a decent shot. I expect you to be arriving in that box. But our club and our players and our squad is a mixed match. And that's why when people bring the arguments to me and go, we've got a squad good as up there. Individually, we might have good players. But in terms of collective as a team, people compare, man, you know what? I'm taking shots at Flawless. Wake up, Flawless, man. Wake up. I'm taking shots at you right now. Right? Because he always says to me, Man City ain't got a striker. I'm like, you know what? If you know anything about Pep Guardiola, no striker has ever thrived. Midfielders, every one of them is a technique. Pep Guardiola is so good. He turns right backs into centre midfielders. That's his thing. He's obsessed with controlling midfield play, and he wants the midfielders to go and score and be the strikers. Zlatan failed. Etu got headed out. All those people, striker. Tell me, Aguero had to learn to play to his system. When Aguero came, when Pep came to City, everybody's like, Aguero ain't gonna fit into Pep's because Pep don't play with a striker. So Man United, we've got these types of players, a mishmash of midfield players, mismatch that don't contribute each other. The only two guys who contribute each other. Yesterday, that game was Bruno to start, Van der Beek, and Fred. Fred could have just stayed where he is.
Yeah,
right?
no past halfway line.
Don't go past the halfway line.
Never.
You can nosebleed, right? Yeah. Stay where you are. Give the ball to Van der Beek. All he did, and he did that. You know when he did that? The best game I've seen Fred have was that semi-final against Sevilla. Pogba played in front of him. Bruno played in front of him. Pogba, exactly. All he was doing is winning the ball, giving it to those guys, making it simple. When you're asking Fred and Matic to create, ain't nobody gonna look good, mate. Or any of us, you could bring the best ballers in the world. If you can't get the ball to them, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, now then, I've said this before, I say it again. The fact that against Leipzig, the fact that Ali picked a midfield of Matic and McTominay, criminal, absolutely criminal. But the fact that he has the choice, the fact that he even has the choice to do so in the squad is more criminal than that. When I get onto the pagans, people want to say, it's not the time to chat about them, blah, blah, blah. Listen to me. These man them are the reason why our squad is imbalanced because they don't want to sort it. It's been how many years since we had a right winger? Them man in charge of getting that.
Right winger, man.
Right winger, bruv. One winger. How long have we not had a proper DM since Carrick, bruv? Why is it?
We've got one CDM. Manchester United.
One CDM, and it's old. We've got a one right back, and the cover is
who's
Williams,
never been a CDM.
You know what I mean? Like, like we have not. Listen to me, people. This squad is so imbalanced. When people were screaming 21, I was like, hey, look, guys, I'm here for the bands. Yeah, that's great. But when you actually look at the team, we can't do it. Huh. We can't do it. We've got one, as Indiana said, we've got one striker, and he's an old man. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
That's why for me, when we came out last summer and we bought all these players like Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, James, and we came out with the slogan of, what was it? Youth, courage, and was it success? Was it?
Yeah,
youth,
that's the slogan. Yeah.
We threw that slogan out the window that same season when we went and got Igalo. So that for me was
it was British. It was apparently British players and all that thing, bro.
Neil Ashton. That was Neil Ashton at his best.
You know how bad it is. It's a proper.
I like Neil Ashton, man.
You man down south here. Neil Ashton is officially left Saeed. He chilled with Flawless. He never came to me and Aaron. You know we give him a backhand straight. The man's in London, mate. The man's in your ends, mate. Messing with your.
You know how bad. While Wood is at his job, Man bought a PR agent to the club, and we found out that we have a PR agent at the club. How does that work? Tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't. It makes no sense.
Mate, no one's talking about Matt Judge either.
A sporting director.
That's
He
a
got
good shout.
PR guy.
Wait, Murden, that's
Instead of he got
Dom,
a
that's
PR
a good shout.
Mate, no one's talking about Matt Judge. No
yeah,
one's
Matt
talking
Judge-
about him.
Actually, Evra did when he came out.
Evra,
with that long
yeah,
video,
Yeah,
he said,
Everett did. Yeah.
people are
Everett.
ringing him to tell Matt Judge to pick up his phone.
His
And
phone.
I was
Thank
like,
you. Thank you.
what's
No one's
going
talking
on,
about
man?
Matt Judge. There's so
Matt
much
Judge,
imbalance throughout the
terrible.
whole team. The whole
Dominic.
Manchester United team. There's so
Dominic.
much imbalance.
Dominic, you've not been watching me on the YouTube things, bro. I talk about them all the time. Matt,
Oh wait, there's another
Matt
one.
Judge,
Matt
right?
Judge.
Arnold, Richard Arnold,
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
That's the
him.
one.
all
There you go.
graduates of Bristol University. It's the Bristol University.
Oh, I don't know what course. I know what course they took. They took Glazonomics. That's what they took at uni, bro.
Bro,
That man took Glazonomics and got our first.
investment bankers, bro. We've got
Bro.
investment bankers and lawyers, bro. And investment and financial.
Rio
law.
said it.
That's
Yeah,
what
Rio
they
said it. I think Rio was talking about how, or someone was talking about how when certain clubs go talk to players, the DOF, football people, their team they sent out to start talking football people. They're in the meetings with the agent talking football. Apparently, when we go, it's about numbers. It's about search sales. It's about, oh, how much can we give you? How much money? They don't care about the money. They know the money's coming, bro. But Man United, talk about
85 million
Bro, they
in
take
dividends a
briefcases.
year. 85 million for the Glazers every single year. 85 million. This is not going to stop. They're a business-minded people. We haven't got a DOF. We haven't got a structure in terms of how we're bringing people through, right? Because if we're bringing someone through, when they actually come through, what games do they start? We need an injury to unearth new talents. That's how we do it. If we got an injury, we'll unearth you. Rashford, we'll unearth you. Greenwood, yeah, you know what? We started scoring goals.
There was a plan with Greenwood, which is fair.
Yeah, there was a plan, but he only still got a chance because he actually took it upon himself. If he didn't score
Literally.
straight away in
Yeah.
the first two games, we never would have seen him again. He
And
took it upon
also,
himself.
listen, and also Greenwood, if you had a right winger, which we've not had for about a
This is
decade,
what you never have a chance.
had a
Yeah,
right
been
winger,
that, never.
Greenwood would have been there.
This is what I'm saying.
Greenwood got on into the team. To me, the biggest thing is this, right? I look at Man United structure, right, and I go on about this till the day I die, bro. It'll be on my tombstone. You know what I mean? That'll be there.
Structure.
All he wanted was structure for Man United. You know what I mean? That's what I want. But that's what I want. Listen, you know what? New variant.
Oh, yeah.
All we wanted was a structure. All right.
All right, Pete, no,
That's all he wanted. All he wanted for his beloved Man United was structure.
structure.
Listen, there's a new variant, right, in Mustang, Hume, and Waller Range. Those people who know Manny, Central Manny, right? There's a new variant of this madness COVID, right? So if that gets me, Aaron, you know what to put on that headstone, yeah? You know what to do. That's good,
Yo, you
know what I
guys
mean?
carry on. I'm having
like,
technical difficulties. I can't hear nothing. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like the biggest thing for me is that you look at modern football, right? The top 8 clubs in Europe, top 8, 9 clubs in Europe are all modernized. I understand sometimes when you have a absolute figurehead like Fergie, who was a technical director, he was a sporting director, he was a general manager, he was almost sometimes as a chairman. He did everything in one. He built this structure in football and Man United because he would always get the best people in their positions who are capable to do the things for them. But when Fergie leaves and a fraudster like Moyes comes in, right? The fraud that is David Moyes comes in, and you've seen it in that first half. He then smashes that out of the water. Then you get that. But nobody in Man United has anything to say when you got 3 bankers from Bristol University having consolidating the most power. Glazers don't care, like Dominic said. 85 people, yeah, that's all they asked about, the numbers. They're not asked about, they don't want to know. And the best thing about what Fergie did, how I know, because I was one of the hooligans, madman, who was running around trying to chase after their car when the police rioted there.
Really?
People think the Glazers took over this.
Wait. Did you actually do that?
Are you kidding me, bro? I was there, bro.
Hey, man, like no, don't mess with
I
my
was
brother,
there,
bro.
bro. People think it was just one protest. Those men had to be escorted out of Old Trafford, bro. on police escort. What I'm talking about, like a military escort kind of thing, it was. They had three big cars in front of police cars in front of them, 5 vans behind them to escort them out to the back to the airport, bro. That's what happened. If you can see the footage. We're doing madness. There's runs with the police, and everybody. Listen, there's a committee set up. You know what they call themselves? Manchester Education League. Guess what they did? They went to every shareholder who sold to the Glazers, smashed up their houses and cars. People think, that's what I'm saying to you. It's a news to you guys. People don't understand. Glazers, people think Glazers just walked in, took over the club. It was all sweet. No. There was resistance. So much so, some of the fans, there was about 5,000 to 10,000 fans who set up their own club, which I support as well, FC United. Yeah. You know what I mean? So people don't understand that how they took over. They were never interested. The thing about it, if you look Fergie's comments before they took over, David Gill's comments, they were against the takeover. It was a hostile takeover. But what they said to them is, let us do the football, you do the finances. And Fergie said, I'm not going to ask you for money, I'm going to handle this myself, right? The Glazers were taking money out from day one. When we were winning leagues, bro, United would get a certain amount of money. With the later stages you get to the Champions League, the certain TV money you would get. Fergie was not even allowed to spend that. We sold Cristiano Ronaldo for 80 million and Glazers bagged that.
And you know, I know what we replaced him with. Obertan and Owen, bruv.
Yeah, and Valencia. But anyway, so I just want to sum up this. I just want to sum up. Our problems run deep. And it's easier for us to go and shout at Ollie and individual players and get frustrated with them. But if you don't have the foundations, if you do not have the philosophy, if you don't have the ambition and a winning mentality,
facts
from the top, fish always rots from the head. That's why you've got the man who runs Chelsea. Yep. He's got proper footballing people advising him. You know how deep my guy is? My guy's got phone numbers. He's got phone numbers to individual players in the Chelsea dressing room. Because if he said, listen, as the manager lost the dressing room, manager needs to go. Because they got the players there. The biggest thing about Chelsea's mistake is that why they're not going to win the league unless they sign 2 proper centre-halves. A leader, they need a Van Dijk kind of leader. Then they come in because they always had it when they won the league. Man United need to get with a program, get modernized football, football structure. You need to get ahead of recruitment. You need to get a footballing director. You need to get somebody who looks at the technical talents of the team and what's coming through. Works closely with manager. A style of play needs to be established. When everybody tells me about Manchester United DNA and what Ollie's on about DNA, I'm like, that's just another slogan. That's another Neil Ashton wording. There is no DNA. You know what I want? Guess what the Manchester United DNA is?
Winning.
In every position of the club, find the best in the world. That's a Man United DNA. Man United DNA is find the best person for the job in every position of that club. That's that's what we used to have. We don't have that.
And you know what? You're right about this one, because what we used to do is we used to go to clubs and say, right, even if they didn't want to sell, we'd be like, okay, cool, we're Manchester United and we're going to take your best player. You've got nothing to say. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
That's it.
No, to be fair, on that point, Aaron, due to the amount of money in the Premier League, that the smaller teams are doing, it is naturally just harder anyway to do that anymore. But we should have went to Villa. Grealish, 80 M's? 85 just to show you that I'm a bad man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, we're Man United. We've got the P's to do that.
You know what it is, Kanye? It's because we have to pay this tax, right? I call it like, you know, when you go to an airport, you go to the airport and you go to get some perfume, it's duty free, but you look on Amazon, it's half price. I ain't paying that. It's like the United tax, man. And what happens is, right, we want Grealish. It was clear we wanted Grealish. He's a ball-carrying midfielder who's creative at the same time. He's slightly different to Pogba because he couldn't carry the ball like him, but also he's looking for a little slide pass, right? They wanted him. They're like, yeah, we got him. As soon as they said, oh, yeah, here we go, 80 million. They're like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Because they're starting to plug this PR thing that, no, we're not going to be taken advantage of.
We won't be held to ransom.
That
Forget
slogan.
that rubbish. Man United have always been built on acquiring the best players. Falcao, he was the best player at the time. We always go out for these big, good players to build our form. That's what we do. At the moment, people have found out that, wait a minute, we're playing a different football this era. We can go to teams and see them. They haven't got these big players, but they're playing good collective football. Leipzig have proved that. They're playing good collective football. Football has changed. It's not just about having the best players anymore. It's play. It's about the system. It's about the DOF. It's about the recruitment, because we've seen it doesn't work just having the best players. You've got to have a style of play, an ambition, and the right characters, the right balance. And when we see that, then we'll see the real Manchester United. That's when we're going to see it, bro.
Yo, Abdi, my brother, I see your comment. Ollie would ruin Grealish. Yo, you would not rather. No, listen, I know you.
What comments? I'll get to that in a second.
Sorry, boys, I've got to bounce. My wife's pregnant. I need to make her ginger tea. So,
go do your thing, guys. Go do your thing. Congratulations, man.
Midnight Vibes call up.
Big up,
Midnight
man.
Vibes call
no
up.
worries, man. Peace out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'll jump on as well. It's going to turn into the Man City show. I don't even want to do that. But do you know what? Yeah, I think, the whole, we're not going to be held to ransom thing no more. I think it comes from this. Paying 80 mil for Maguire. Everyone's going to tell you, we got bumped. We got done there. 80 mil for Maguire is that it's a crime. It's a crime. I'm not saying Maguire is a bad player, but if Van Dijk is going for 75 mil, Maguire should not be going for 80. Yeah. And that's why I think the tax comes into it, because the whole Grealish thing, I think everyone agreed here when we're like, okay, Grealish, I'm going to get you like 50, 60 M's. Even if they got relegated, we're still talking about 50, 60 M's. Yeah. But when these guys would then come out saying, oh, you have to pay 70, 80, even me, I'm like, no, you don't do that. But then I guess it comes to the structure thing, because if we had like a system that we've got, how many scouts we got, but yeah, they don't scout man them properly in it. If we had scouted Jack Grealish, we'll probably have known that, listen, this guy is actually an 80 mil player. Let's play it. Because everyone's saying, I'm saying it now, yeah, we should have just paid the 70, 80 mils for him right now. Do you know what I mean? But then it's always there's a bit of, what's this? There's a bit of both in it. What's this? We are Man United. We should have a system in place. Yeah, I was talking about, you see Bournemouth yesterday when they were showing the highlights. Did you see the way they were playing ball?
Oh, they were playing some
Yeah,
I was thinking like, why can't we play ball like this? Why can't we just
that's Eddie Howe football, bro.
But he's not the manager no more.
Who's in that club?
Who's their manager? What's that?
Jonathan Woodgate.
Woodgate, yeah. Come on, man. Like,
yeah. Oh,
talk about Eddie Howe Foundation. Eddie Howe was at that club, right? Built as kind of a system, a style of play. And before that, the guy who got sacked was this Eddie Howe's number 2. So the players, Woodgate, there's a system they play on. And Woodgate has just told them to play that system because Woodgate has not had the time to implement his own style of play. That is from Eddie Howe. And people always laughed at me when Eddie Howe got sacked. But I said, Eddie Howe, there is a clear definition of system, regardless of the play. The reason why it was the biggest thing for me, Eddie Howe, when he was overachieving, keeping Bournemouth 15,000 seater stadium in the Premier League, bringing them up through. That was a style of football that did that. And then he got wrecked by injuries. He got absolutely wrecked by injuries, right? That's why they went down. And he couldn't sustain it unless they bought in more players anyway. Yes, he did spend money. But to play that system or style of football, and not even when you're getting banged, you're getting 4-0 or whatever, still came to it, takes real courage. That's why I rate Eddie Howe as a manager.
Oh, hey, listen, talking about Eddie Howe, get my man in the English, your waistcoat, get out of here, bro, with your dead football waistcoat, get out of here, fam. Eddie Howe for England, blood.
Eddie Howe for England, trust me. England are banging goals, mate, banging.
A question here from Abdi. Would you rather have Eddie Howe than Oli Gunnar?
Bro. Why you have to do that?
No, because I remember when he got sacked at Bournemouth, yeah, as much as Bournemouth got relegated, I was like, boy, like he's someone that we should probably look at if we want to like get a style of playing, because at least he's got a style of play. No one can say that Bournemouth weren't playing good football. They were playing absolutely wonderful football. Unfortunately for them, as teams, you get found out. Look at Pep. Pep was playing amazing football last season. Things weren't working out for him. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool play great football. This season, things ain't working out for them. Managers get found out. Doesn't mean that they're crap managers. But then, bruv, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Would you take Eddie Howe?
If you think it's one of those ones, you think Ollie's a risk, Eddie's a risk. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that Ollie is any better than him. You know what I mean? They're potentially the same level, if not maybe Eddie Howe slightly pips him due to again playing in the Premier League for a lot longer and doing so well. But yo, man, if we're gonna go for a new manager, it has to be one that's already levels above Oli. Like it has to be. It can't be this slightly better than him, because if we're saying, oh, we can't do slightly better players than Fred or slightly better players than McTominay, we have to get the best. The next manager has to be better than Eddie Howe. So I would only say, just might as well just stick with Oli. There's no point in changing to Eddie Howe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What KJ better at what?
Listen, for me. Sorry, go on, bro. Go on.
No, I was just going to say better at what, because we know how the clubs run. We know what's going on. Woodward's doing his madness there. My issue is with a top manager, they want certain things. They demand certain things. To me, that just says they're going to butt heads with the Woodwards and Judges or what have you, the Glazers. So what would you want a manager to do? Because it's about, I think it's about navigating them.
Scott Parker. So go on, Indiana. Man said Scott Parker.
Scott
That's
Parker.
rude.
I won't lie, yeah. I'm gonna have to keep Oli, you know. I can't even lie to you.
Yeah, you see, but
I'm clipping that bit up, just that bit.
Listen, can I just say my 2 pence, right? So we know Oli. To me, Oli's done. I'm one of those people. I have zero agenda, right? The only agenda to me is get the fraudsters who run the club out. Glazers out.
Yes, Norden
out. You know what? You know what I mean? Judge out. Arnold out. If those mans were failing, if you're failing and you are failure in your team, in your club, and you failed the game, it's like, imagine, Man United was it when Glazers came in, Man United, and especially Woodward and that, Fergie left, right? One thing I would just say, the thing about, oh, we're not getting ripped off. Fergie used to come out, Fergie come out with about 10 years ago. Fergie used to say, there's no value in the market. No value in the market. That is Glazonomics. That is Glazonomics speak, right? Glazonomics speak, right? But we know when we're out of the Champions League, my guys are quick to spend that money, aren't they? They're quick to spend that money because they want all of that, all of those sponsors quickly, right? Soon as we get into the Champions League, we're not going to spend no money. So every time it's like 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. That's what Man United in terms of football structure. But in terms of Oli, to me, Oli's done fundamentally good things at Man United. But we're going to need, the only way, and we need a genius manager to get us back to the top, bro. I'm telling you now, and there ain't many around. We need a genius manager who can work with the structure, work under the structure, and to get us back to where we were. And there ain't no genius manager around. The only manager that, especially I look at, I think, who's got a system and a way of playing is Nagelsmann. And he's a real student. But if the structure's not there to help Nagelsmann, because Leipzig they're just happy to have him. They're happy to have him. Nagelsmann can get a 10-year contract in Leipzig. They'll never sack him because they're so happy to have him. But at Man United, there ain't no structure. He's going to come into the English game and the Premier League. And if there's no structure to help him, he's not going to be able to do things. But one thing we will see, and that's why I agree with Flawless. Flawless, wake up, man. I don't know where you are. Wake up.
I don't know.
But what I'm saying is that, here's why I agree with Flawless. Flawless then will say, get that guy in, at least we'll get good football then. We'll get some good football. We'll win a cup here and there. That's what we will be. But unless we attack heads, of all I would say, not head, I say fish always rots from the head. Unless the structure's sorted out, Man United there ain't no 21 coming. There ain't no Champions League coming. None of these things are not coming, right? And that's where I look at. So when I see Eddie Howe, I think Eddie Howe definitely, and everybody will come back at me, because I said it on one of the fan cams on the United stand back in the day. I rate his football because I see a defined, distinct style of play. But is there a support to help Eddie Howe at Man United? No, there isn't.
No.
There's Woodward and Judge and these mans.
Yeah.
So to me, if we're not going to get Club, we're not going to get Pep anytime soon, right? Because those men are geniuses. They can be geniuses. Nagelsmann, for me, could do it in terms of bring a style of play. So then we can have players out. Our reserves can go into the first team, and we can still have the style of play. We can still attack as a unit, defend as a unit, play football, 1-touch, 2-touch football. At the moment,
Now then, I've just this is leader of the resistance, KJ here. You're now been promoted to general of the resistance, bro.
I've shed blood for the resistance, so before you even knew there was a resistance, I was already there, bro.
Oh, you know in films, in films.
I was already out on these streets, bro. In these streets, running after the Glazers in their cars, bro. This is me.
Oh, you know in those films, you got you got the Avengers and stuff that they're fighting someone, and then they go to some random cave and see like this battled old man, and he's like, it's Odin. It's Odin in the cave,
Odin,
man. That's what the Odin is. He's like, yo, I've been fighting these pagans long before you were even born, my son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, just a quick one. Big up to Yannick.
Called where he's the only last man in the earth, you're fighting. Still going out structure. What's that?
Well, I am legend. I am legend.
That's that. Yo,
Yeah, no, listen, big up Yannicka. It's a birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Yannick.
Happy birthday.
Go on.
Yeah, you get me. 21 and that.
Big up.
You get me?
Yeah,
That's my
21,
babes.
yeah.
That's my babes there. You get me? But yeah, just before we wrap up and stuff, we've got Manchester United. We have, who do we have on the weekend? West Brom.
Yes.
Yeah, West Brom on the weekend. I don't do previews and stuff like that. But just a quick one. What are you lot expecting out of that game? Like I said on Aaron's channel, I just don't know. Because we can't break down teams. I just find that. Bro, last time we played them, it was 1-0. Was it 1-0?
yeah, it was 1-0.
No, it was 1-0 penalty. Fernandez, obviously, with a short range penalty this time. I just don't know. I just don't see how we're going to beat them. But at the same time, I
expect more pain. I expect more pain.
No, KJ, you know what I think? You know, against West Brom on the weekend, yeah.
She always looks pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
Mandem, listen to this. Everyone that supports Manchester United, yeah. Whatever you got planned with your babes, do it before the game. Do it before the game, because I know that this team is gonna upset you, man. It's gonna affect your mood, and your babes is gonna have to face the consequences of that. So please, wherever you, even on this, I don't know on this panel if you got if you got your babes watching.
My babes.
Listen, tell your babes whatever we got planned before the game, because I know these men will upset us on Sunday. I just know it. I
think we'll win, but boy, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna hurt.
So whatever you got planned, that anyone watching, plan it before, please. Yeah, for your own good. Plan it before. Do it before. Sorry, plan it. Do it before 2 p.m. and then you can watch the game in peace. Not even in peace. You can watch the game and get upset afterwards. But you've already done your thing. Do you know what I mean? So,
what time's the game? Because I don't even know.
2 p.m., bro.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. on a Sunday.
You know?
Yeah, on a Sunday, bro.
I'm having a late one. Imagine messing up your whole Sunday and after church as well. When you're in good spirits, you don't watch Man United.
You know how many times I've been in church? Yeah, I've been like, the God is good. Yes, pastor saying his thing, fam. Go home. And then I watch United. I'm just like, I need to start. I've just been in church. I need to repent already. For
I'm telling you, fam. Do you know how many times we played?
No, that's why when you go to church, innit? When you come out of church, you need to be making peace with the devil, the red devil. Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Do you know how many times I've been in church on a Sunday? I come back home, I watch United, and they completely disappoint me. And I'm literally sitting there, and I want to say stuff, and I'm just, nope, Aaron, you just came from church.
You just came from church, innit?
Don't say nothing stupid. You know what I mean?
No, it's this Aaron. It's this one. It's like the game's done. You're like, pick up the phone, Pastor Henry. Listen, it's been 2 hours. I need to repent. I need your guidance.
I'm telling you, fam. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We should be confident because it's West Brom. You know, they're in the bottom three for a reason. Yes. But with us, you just never know. And in the reverse fixture, if we don't get that penalty, we draw against them 0-0 at home, and that would have been a complete disaster at the time. I think the whole timeline would have been a meltdown on Twitter. So I just don't know. We're just gonna have to hope that we go there and just completely destroy them. Like from the first minute, if we score early, then what's going on?
I know it, bro. Man just shook his head.
This is what I'm saying, but he's right though. We don't know what team's gonna turn up. We should be able to go there and say we're gonna win this convincingly, but there's a difference between us struggling to break down West Brom and scoring a penalty and then be happy with it, and Man City going there and completely finish them off 5-0. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference.
That's
To
what
be
you call
fair,
football.
though, they
Oh, there we are.
They
You
did
had to
draw
say
with
Man
us
City,
at home,
bro.
innit?
No, but
We
Did
got
they?
a 1-1 at home. Yeah. But then we beat them away. So.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they did.
and actually they were the better team. That's why the man got sacked in it. He got sacked because the board already agreed with Sam Allardyce, thinking that he's got a away City game. They're gonna take 5.
Yeah.
And the players rallied and got the man a draw, and he still got sacked anyway. So
wow.
but you know, I just want to ask Fania, City. So the league, you know that the league's yours to lose now, yeah? You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
You've won the league. No, you've won the league, fam.
They've won it. They're basically 8 points.
Wait,
clear.
listen.
Game in hand.
They went to Liverpool's gaff, yeah, took the crown, took 3 points, and then just left.
Do you know what it is? It's Phil Foden for
guys,
me, you know.
You guys absolutely destroyed Liverpool. Like it wasn't even close. Like, yes, they scored a penalty, but apart from that, they didn't do nothing.
Yeah, they didn't have a shot.
Nothing.
Bro, but the funny thing, Alisson helped them though. He was.
No, it's not Alisson. It's not Alisson. It's not
Alisson was
Alisson.
giving out the sermons, bro.
His
Alisson came with gifts, bro. He gave it to them.
His name is not Alisson no more. It's not. His name's Alice with these 4 Brazilians.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alison Blunderland.
No, yeah,
Alison
yes.
Blunderland.
Sky Sports got me when they came up with that, bro. That was
flipping hilarious.
What did they say?
I
They
like
said
Alice.
Alice in Wonderland.
they said
No,
Alice in
Blunderland.
Blunderland.
On live Sky Sports.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, it's Pete, bro.
They killed me.
No. But you know what? Yeah, talking about that. Yeah, just a quick one. Obviously, found out an Aaron stream just before that. Klopp lost his mother from COVID.
Rest in
Do you know what I mean?
in peace.
Obviously, we've been, rest in peace, innit? Condolences. Obviously, we've been saying a lot about Klopp and obviously his press conferences, but it just goes to show that even though man's in front of the camera, people are still going through stuff behind closed doors. So, condolences to them, and yeah, man, I'm hoping that you can only hope and pray that his family get through it, because it's never easy losing.
And also, I said it on my stream as well. Jerome Boateng split with his girl a week ago, and unfortunately, she's been found dead in her apartment in Berlin. And obviously Jerome Boateng, ex Man City player. So yeah, that was devastating news as well. So yeah, thoughts and praise to his family. He's supposed to be focusing on the game tomorrow because he's in Qatar right now with Bayern Munich to play the final of the FIFA Club World Cup, and yeah, that must be devastating news, man. And yeah, again for Klopp to not be able to travel for his mum's burial, that's
even worse as well, man.
That's hurt.
Yo,
Thoughts and praise with both of them, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, Aaron knows I live in a community, innit? And now we've got this new variant in my neighborhood. I was joking about it before, but trust me, some of my neighbors are not coming out. I live in this complex where it's like a gated community, and neighbors are staying away from each other because everybody's frightened, man. Everybody's scared. And this is getting real, bro. This is getting real. Like, when people can't even go to go and bury your mother, that is...
That hurts, man.
That is real. So, you know what? Everybody who's affected out there, everybody who's suffering, you know what? We can only send our prayers and well wishes. That's all we can do, man. And you've got to look after those who are close to you. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
And those who are close to you, man.
And at the same time as well, like we all do streams, whether it's on Manny's channel, the Football Terrors, Norden with me, Yannicka with her channel, and the Galdem City on Sarcasm City on my channel, Indiana with First 11. At the end of the day, we're in hard times right now, and certain people are really, really struggling with lockdown. They're really struggling to cope with it, and I've had bits of it as well. Like it can, because sometimes you're like, especially as a guy, you're like, nah, this ain't gonna hit me. Like I'm good, you know what I mean? But there will be certain moments where it hits you, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, it really hits you. So sometimes I get DMs and I get messages from people saying, yo, your stream really helps me out. Do you know what I mean? And this is why we do this. We don't just do this for ourselves and to enjoy ourselves, but we do this for you, man, as well, that are watching. Like somebody might be going through something right now, but because he watched this stream right now, he feels better or she feels better. So we're doing this for you guys as well. So yeah, man, hold tight, everyone. This ain't going to last for long. We will get back to normality soon. So just keep strong, man. Keep strong. These are hard times, but we'll get through it, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, man.
Sit words, but do you know what? That's beautiful words from Aaron there. And you know what? I think maybe we just end the stream there. To be fair, because
Oh, you gotta let Tanya speak, man. She gotta come on and have her say, man. She gotta have her say, don't she, about City? Go on, tell us.
It's Yannicka.
It's Yannicka. I think it's Tanya.
Tanya.
You know what? Go on,
Tanya's
you have
I deeply apologize. I'm dyslexic and
No, it's
I
alright.
always get people's names mixed up, so apologies. But
It's
Yannicka's got to have her say, man. She's got to have her say.
Yeah, go on, chat your
Man,
rubbish about. I don't want it to be a Man City show, innit? Well, every time, but just go. What do you want to say about City, man? I'm not going to ask you a question.
Listen, City have only like 3 fans, so they have to come on. Like, Man United, when we got worldwide fans in it. So Yannicka, take it away. Take it away.
Nah, like City are where they need to be right now. Hopefully, we can stay there for the rest of the season. But we have some hard fixtures coming up, you know, so it's not as easy as it sounds.
Your next game is against Jose Bin Laden. He's already done sabotage the team, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
don't worry about that. That's already done.
Games against us, them lot. Because
Yannicka, can I ask you about Diaz? Listen, tell me about Diaz.
Yeah.
How good is Diaz?
He's good.
He's unreal, him. He's unreal. And you know what it is? His mentality. Like, his mentality is like, it's not good enough that he wants to keep a clean sheet. He doesn't want them to have a shot on target. Like, that's mad. You know, most of these defenders nowadays, they like hardly want to defend. But he's a proper defender.
You know what's mad? We was linked to Diaz before.
Don't say it, man. Don't say it. And we chose hire a guy for 80 million pounds, bruv. Plus add-ons, you know. There's a 5 million add-on there. We forget to say that.
Yo, big up Saeed, because Saeed, I remember Saeed when we were talking before we got
Maguire.
That fridge, yeah. Saeed was like, get me Diaz, and you know what? I was like, Lindelof. I was like, listen, I remember saying to Saeed, we bought the wrong guy. We should have bought Diaz, not Lindelof. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm looking at City's fixture list here. Yeah, they got quite a tough schedule. So they got Swansea next today. Well, you wipe them away anyway. Yeah. So after that, you got Tottenham, Everton, Arsenal, Mönchengladbach in the Champions League, West Ham, and then you got us.
Yeah.
Bro, they don't concede goals. City do not concede goals. They're not easy, Yannicka, but City don't concede goals anymore. And actually, for the first time in his managerial career, Pep Guardiola's adapted.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
My guy was in Spain, never adapting. It's the Pep way or no way. Goes to Germany, Bayern Munich. It's the Pep way or no way. Comes to the Premier League. What can be a graveyard for managers?
I remember. All right, listen. I remember, when he came to England, first season, man got pammed 4-2 by Leicester, and man was like, man said, I might actually have to change what I'm doing. Man, I had to admit, like, actually, like, this league is a bit peak still. Like, let me change it up a bit. Yeah.
Well,
you know what?
The first time ever, he's adapted. He's adapted because and not obtain winning a ball back. The City of 2 years ago, when they won the beat and they beat Liverpool to 1 point, that to me was one of the best Premier League title challenges because were going at that team's not there anymore. Fernandinho's not as quick as anymore. Gundogan is not that type of player. Foden is in the mix now, but these fans are holding the ball down. But you know what they say? You have the ball, but now we've got real defenders. And the biggest thing about Diaz, the biggest thing I think about Diaz is that I always talk about it. He defends that corridor. That's why he makes Stones look like a 70 million pound defender. Where all humans know, John Stones could have been in your local Tesco and you would have said, you know what you would have said? Oh yeah, that guy used to play for That's what you would have said. Diaz comes in. Literally, Stones leaves Tesco to come back to being a professional footballer. That's what happened.
That has to be.
That was on furlough.
That has to be one of the craziest rebirths, man. Like, John Stones for me was completely out of the picture when he comes back.
Man's keeping Laporte.
One of the best centre-halves in Europe, Laporte for me.
Literally.
Centre-halves in Europe. And you know the crazy thing? That's why the fridge that is Maguire looks like almost 60 million pound player when Bailly's in the team. So it's about complementing each other's game. Football is about balance. What you're not good at, I'm good at. But the biggest thing I've seen about Diaz is that his organizational skills.
Yeah.
For 23-year-old.
My guy telling people to push up, press, cut his
Right, and that's
fielders.
And that's what Maguire is lacking. People say it's this, like, bro, take the armband off my brother, please. Like,
Listen,
please.
I told you.
How is it, like, Maguire's a good defender. I'm not going to say he's trash. He's a good defender. But how is it that you're the captain and you're the one playing everyone on side?
Listen, I've said it already. His dog leads him. His dog goes, get the dog lead. I'm taking you out for a walk. That's much of a leader he's Maguire. Maguire gets taken out for a walk by his dog. That's why he's no leader, he's no captain. The idea that he's the captain of Man United is, to me, is shambles. I've supported this club for 30 years and I watch that and I look at all the captains. In any time, we had 4 or 5 captains in any United team under Fergie. And now we've got to put up with this fraud, mate. This fraud.
You know what it was?
Janice, and then you know what it shows you? The xenophobia in English football and in English football punditry.
Yeah.
If Harry Maguire was something like Le Chaleur, or he was from somewhere like some parts of France or Romania, the man would have been headed out of Old Trafford already. But because he's Harry, good old Harry, and he did things with the Young Lions for England in the World Cup. Yesterday,
we had the easiest one in the World Cup as well, you know.
Janice gives him the man of the match. Because
that was a foolishness.
Yeah.
After McTominay,
you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Won us the game.
You know what's funny? On TV,
We didn't even
when they announced,
understand.
you know, on TV when they announced the man of the match and they showed Maguire, literally seconds after that madness happened with Henderson when they were dilly dallying.
Yeah. All right, I said, I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, Maguire? What? I was like, can you? If I could not give a man of the match to anyone,
It would be that game.
I would that game. No one deserved it.
They had absolute first half. It was defense against attacking training. That's what it was with that fraud.
Can I just say as well, on that comment here, Phil Foden. You know Phil Foden is special, when you got a man like Carles Puyol tweeting that he's an exceptional player.
He's generate. You know what? Remember it was on Flawless's channel. We're doing like I think it was a 5-hour stream in it, and I put Phil Foden at the bottom of my list for talent. Listen, he's the top.
Andy, what are you doing, bro?
No, I don't care, man. I love football. I love football first, and Foden is special.
No. I'm saying, Manny, what are you doing? How on earth did you put him bottom in the first place? What's wrong with you,
I put him
bro?
bottom because obviously we had man like Greenwood there, Sancho, Rashford, with their agendas and all that stuff. And then I was just like, Greenwood can. I put him below Saka and Callum Hudson-Odoi, but
listen, he's a different talent, man. But he's from Stockport, innit? Like most City fans, those 3 City fans, he's from Stockport, so we'll allow him. Back in the day, he could have played for Stockport County when they used to be a decent team, innit? You know what I mean? The United would have probably snapped him up, but now he wants to sign a lifetime contract at Man City, so I'll give it up for him. But Yannick, to tell us a bit about Foden, innit, other than doing his madness with Greenwood. Since he done that, he done the juju on Greenwood. Greenwood has never been
man sucked his powers like Space Jam, cuz.
In Iceland.
Sabotage, mate. Sabotage.
Yannick, to tell us about Foden.
Before I touch on Foden, I was just going to say, like, with Maguire, the problem that you have with a centre-back, like I always say, in the partnership, you need a leader. The other person doesn't have to be a leader. So John Stones for us is not a leader. So when you put him next to Laporte, who also isn't a leader, as good as Laporte is, he isn't a leader. So when you put them together, it doesn't work as well. But because Diaz is a leader, Kompany was a leader, when the other centre-back always puts so with Maguire's not really a leader. I don't know why he's captain, because he's not a leader. And someone in the comments is saying if you get Laporte and Maguire are not leaders. You need a leader next to him.
That's right.
So you just need to get someone like a Diaz in or a Kompany or someone like that.
This is why I say we should go sign Boateng.
Even if you're not as talented.
No, I say like just a leader. I don't care who it is. Just a leader as a defender. Everyone's talking about Upperman Khan and all these centre backs. We don't need that. We need someone with experience and leadership.
Being a leader. Look at Diaz. Diaz came in at a 22-year-old. 22-year-old defender.
He's the anomaly, though.
No. But there are centre backs like that who have that already in them. They just need a stage, like Diaz did. Just need the stage to show it. I have no issue with whatever centre back we get. But as long as he's technically very good, he's quick, and he can shout and lead the team or lead the defensive line, I'm happy. I don't care about the age. I don't. We just need that.
So what you said? Everyone's saying we should. Everyone in the comments saying we need to get Ramos in.
No,
Well,
can you imagine Ramos next to Maguire?
That'd be ridiculous.
You know what I
Ramos is
said?
going to be throwing.
Oh, no,
headbutts at him
wait,
within
wait.
the first
You know
half.
what? You know what?
Imagine-
You know what I said about Ramos? Yeah, I said a lot of people when the rumors came about, because obviously his contract and we were linked to Alaba as well, because both of their contracts end in June. So when we got linked to both of them, I saw, I checked the reactions on Twitter, and a lot of people were saying, no, don't bring them in. They're only going to come in for a payday and this, that, and the other. First of all, none of us is going to pay their wages, so that's not a problem. Secondly, I don't think we have enough proven winners in our team. We've got winners, but no proven winners. And when I talk about that, I mean the mentality. I bet you everything right now, even my house, that goal that we conceded against Everton last minute, everyone's head is getting ripped off if Ramos is there. Everyone.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Abdi said it here. Ramos is gonna throw punches at Maguire.
you
He
think-
would.
Yeah, but Aaron,
the only thing I would
Ramos in, and who comes in? Who goes next to him? Because it wouldn't be Maguire.
It wouldn't be
It would-
Maguire.
It would probably
It would
be
end up being Lindelof.
It
or
might-
Bailly.
Wait,
probably
literally, imagine Ramos and Baye. That's what I'm saying. Imagine Ramos and Baye. You got Ramos, who's already a madman as it is, next to Eric Baye, who's also a
He's a
madman.
madman.
You know what?
It's
that-
like
you know what that
remember
would
when
cause?
Rojo
You
and
know what
Bailly
that
got our partnership?
Wait,
Manny,
KJ,
tell it.
KJ,
That was
you know
one of the best partnerships, Rojo and Baye.
You know what that will cause, KJ? Fear. Because at least then
Wow.
teams will look at our defense and go, "Oh shit, I'm in for a difficult day today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have it easy today." Because now people look at our defense, they look at the team sheet, Maguire, Lindelof, easy.
Yeah,
They're not scared anymore.
Yeah. All
Bro,
right.
That's across the field, Aaron.
Oh, wait,
Multiple
imagine if we had.
times.
Oh, wait, imagine if we had ever if Rojo was still here and he was good, and we had a back three of freaking Ramos, Rojo, and Baye. Absolute carnage. Carnage. It may as well
Salah would
start
have a
watching
field day in the
WWE.
penalty box, honestly. Salah was diving all over the shop, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, that dive was. By the way, that dive was atrocious. By the way, that was
And
so
we're
bad.
bringing in Ramos as well. Yeah, as much as we talk about Maguire being this head of the ball and score goals. Yeah, Ramos comes in. Yeah, he's actually going to give you 12 goals as well.
Yeah,
He'll give
he
you
will.
12 goals a season. bro.
He will go
He's an animal.
Panenka a penalty as well. May
Yeah.
as well.
You think no more Penandes? There's no more Penandes. Ramos is not having it. That's my penalty. Bro.
Yannick, so give us a bit of insight into Foden. What do you know about him? Come on.
Wait,
We wanna hear-
you know what? It's interesting because obviously Foden's a City fan, he's always been kind of, I think he was a season ticket holder when Aguero scored the goal in
Wow.
20. He was a kid. So it's just mad. He's come up through the ranks. It's funny because Sancho didn't make it at City, he couldn't break into the first team, but Foden did. And he would play the odd game, and then bit by bit he started playing more. But he's just been a star since the first time I've seen him. He's come in. I think Pep, you have to big up Pep because he's managed him perfectly. He's not overplayed him. He's not shoved him in too many games, so he kind of gets worn out. He kind of plays him when he needs to play him, and he's just getting better and better.
Yeah, next season he has to be a starter.
Yeah. Because his idol is David Silva, so he was happy to play next to him. But he's just looking it's almost like you've taken out Silva and put him there. You can't notice. It's mad. So
Next season,
I can't big him up enough, really.
next season, Phil needs to, he needs to think about changing that number because he's getting too good to wear 47 now.
47. Yeah,
He's getting too good for 47.
You know what I liked about Pep? You know what I liked about Pep? Yeah, Pep knows that obviously it's going to be all over the media, innit? Flavor of the month, innit? Foden. He's positioning. He still doesn't understand the positioning to hold. He's too eager. And I thought that was really a manager didn't come out and just say, "Oh, he's done amazing." Manager was like, "No," telling him and telling everybody else, he still things to work on because you know how the British media goes mad in it.
Oh yeah.
1 minute Greenwood's in it. I'm just glad that Greenwood is finding. I can see in his game now. Greenwood is just finding bits of the game that was missing from him. You know what I mean?
Did you see him yesterday? He was
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh,
Big up.
wait,
We got 32 people inside. Big up. I think that's a record for me, actually.
come
Come
on,
on, man.
Everyone.
That's
Smash the
not a
like
record.
button.
There was more than that last time I was on.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't done good vibes for a minute because of work and stuff, innit? Oh yeah, you're right. I think it was 37 last time, but still, it's still big numbers for me, innit? So big up to everyone inside, man. But yeah, no, carry on.
Now the first 11 coming, brother.
Indiana is saying, "Have your 2 pence." That's what he's saying.
Yo, my phone's gonna die soon, innit? So I don't know how long.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wrap it up. To be fair, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Lagging.
You're lagging. Boom. Do you know what? It's been a sick show. I appreciate everyone for jumping on. Nuruddin, love for coming on. Man, like I can't even speak Spanish no more.
Capitan.
Capitan.
Yeah, Capitan, that's it. Yeah, Capitan, big up yourself. Mr. Aaron United, Indiana from the first XI, and the birthday girl, Yannicka from South City.
Happy
You get
birthday.
me?
You don't want to sing her
birthday
happy birthday, bro. You're not going to sing her happy birthday, man. What are you
No,
doing?
we do that in private though. Come on. Man. That's my babes there. Come on.
Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big up
everybody in
Manny.
the chat, man.
Big up Manny. You know what I'm saying? Me and Indiana from the Football Terrace. Go
Yeah,
check
man,
over
come on.
our first match reactions after the games today. Obviously, big up Aaron. Big up Nordin. And obviously, big up Yannicka and that. You know what I'm saying? We'd love to see it. I hope City lose today.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow all
My birthday is actually quite good so far. Like we beat Chelsea 6-0. We beat Man United at Old Trafford. Like Leicester 4-2, I think it was. So I'm hoping they don't ruin it today. But it's normally Aguero that's on fire and he's not fit. So
All this stream has been about is how bad Man United are and how good Man City are.
Yeah, it's
That's
peak,
what it's
bro.
been, man.
I've got a show with Yannicka
Good
on Saturday.
vibes is
Yeah.
supposed to be, no?
I know, but you know what? Every time Yannicka jumps in, yeah, like we got a show on Saturday, yeah, me, her, and Coach Koja and Papilo, yeah, and it just turns out to the Man City show. That's where it is. Man City show every Saturday. Man City show every Saturday, 10:30. See you then, man. But yeah, big up-
Listen, somebody needs to cater to that 3 City fans in the world somewhere. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they can go for it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, man. Listen, big up to everyone inside, man. It's been a good vibe podcast. Everyone have a good what's today? Wednesday. Have a good week, have a good weekend, man, and have a good day as well.
No,
man.
I'm getting out there, mate. It's a rare sunshine in Manchester. I'm getting out there.
I'm
Pal.
going for a walk today as well, man.
Oh, you're gonna see Nordin's head, yeah. Nordin's head's gonna have a little tan, fam. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, mate.
Listen,
Bring the hairline back and that.
It's not every day you see sunshine in Oldham. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Yo,
Yeah,
Pete,
man.
thanks for the invite. Nice to meet you, Yannicka. I won't get your name wrong now. Captain,
okay.
whatever you know what I mean.
General.
First 11. I've never seen your face, but yeah, I like the graphics, brother.
Yeah, sick. I was gonna say sick. Love it. But yeah, big up, man. Big up everyone.